Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today we have an awful lot to talk about, and so first of all I would like to welcome all of our Let's Go family members here. I am really glad that you're here with us, and also welcome to all of you who are new. We're glad to have you join the family. If there is anyone here who hasn't subscribed yet, we would love it if you would consider subscribing to our channel. We really think that you will enjoy being part of the amazing community here and a member of the Let's Go family. So first of all, I wanted to tell you all that yesterday when I was telling you all about the change in the dates for the Love Boat Cruise, I apologize that I was so excited. My excitement was from the fact that I thought, well, now we can go. But I want you to know that my heart is broken with all of you that can no longer go, like the dates in October doesn't work for you, or we're just so excited to go in February. I know that that is really disheartening to have a cruise changed. And so I just want to say that I am really sad with you. And my sadness for you is greater than the happiness for us to be able to go. If I could wave my magic wand, I would put it back on February 26th so that you could all go as scheduled. And so when I say that I love you at the end of the videos, I really do. And so I am sorry about the change to your plans. The next thing that I do want to let you know about is Asmara Cruise Line announced yesterday that they are going to start requiring boosters for people who are eligible for the booster beginning on March 1st of 2022. You might recall that on Tuesday, I believe it was, I let you know that Silver Seas Cruise Line had made that announcement. And so with both of these cruise lines requiring this now, clearly we'll be hearing from more cruise lines about this. But I wanted to remind you to keep an eye on your eligibility. If you got the Johnson & Johnson, you're eligible after 2 months. And if you got the Pfizer or the Moderna, you're eligible after 5 months. And so just keep an eye on that. So that you can be up to date and be boosted by the time you show up for one of those cruises. Another thing that I wanted to talk to you about is I have mentioned that we have booked the May 2nd cruise on the Royal Princess round trip out of Vancouver to Alaska. And Vanjie, who is one of our wonderful Let's Go family members, she put in the comments yesterday asking if we would mind making it, consider making it a group cruise, and I think that would be fun. She suggested maybe we could all meet for cocktails before dinner or other times during the cruise to get to know each other better and just enjoy having a nice time together. And my husband and I would love that. We would love to have the chance to meet you and get to visit with you and know you better. And so, and that goes for any cruise, I should add. Any time you see us, please say hello, because it's such a treat to get to meet you all. And I'll try to be better organized in all the cruises we go on. We could see which ones of you will be there and maybe set up a time that we could visit and enjoy getting to know each other better. In addition to that, I wanted to let you know, so we can do that and just have a time to meet, or I wanted to say I can also talk to our travel agent and turn it into a group cruise to book that way. I think that the things that are good about that is hopefully we could get a better rate and any perks that we would get from being a group cruise. And so if any of you want me to do that, I'm happy to. Just put it in the comments below, or email us at our letsgotraveltips@gmail.com email, and I will do that. I'm happy to. And if you don't want to, that's cool too. I won't. But so I would just love to know. So let me know if you'd like to do that. And so, and also I am always entirely honest with you guys. And so I want to let you know that I am like 99.9% positive we'll be going on that cruise. However, we have children that live far away, and they have not been able to travel here for the whole pandemic because they have really small children who aren't old enough to be vaccinated yet. And so if by any luck they are able, if the vaccine gets approved for their age group and they're able to get it, then they are going to come and visit. And so if they come to Grandma's house, we aren't going to go on that cruise. We're going to stay home and visit them. But that is really an outside chance because the vaccine for their age group hasn't even been approved yet. But I will let you know how things go, but I just wanted to let you know that, just on the outside chance that that happens. The next thing that I wanted to talk to you about is our cruises to Alaska this summer and the Passenger Vessel Services Act, and that is what always requires a foreign flagged vessel, which they all are, all the big cruise ships are. It requires that if they are going to go round trip out of the United States, that they visit a foreign port. And you might all have recall that last year when the cruise season wanted to start, Canada was not allowing any cruise ships, or other ships for that matter, to come into their ports. They were not allowing any foreign vessels in. And so the senators from Alaska got an exemption to that act for the 2021 cruise season. It made it so that the cruise lines could get sailing again, so that the people of Alaska could start to get some of their income back, because so much of their income is from tourism and the cruise lines. And also it made it so that we and all of you that were able to cruise could have the lovely chance to cruise again. And so this year they have already introduced a bill. They've even asked for a bill to like permanently make that not apply to Alaska. But in the very least, if Canada changes their mind and doesn't let passenger cruise lines come into Canada, I'm sure that they will get that through so that that exemption can apply. The only thing that would have to change is the cruise ships that are going to sail out of Vancouver would have to like be home ported in another place in the United States, so that those cruises could go. And I really like to think that they would be able to work something out to be able to do that. But the reason that I'm telling you this is we had a Let's Go family member mention that she had received a communication from her travel advisor letting her know that their cruises were going to have a problem with that. And in all honesty, I don't understand how that would work, and I'm looking forward to hearing back from her. I'm sure she'll let me know. But they've booked some back-to-back cruises. So they have LA to Vancouver and Vancouver to Seattle, and then they are taking Seattle, round trip out of Seattle to Alaska. And so in all the studying, I did a lot of studying about this last night after I got that, because I understood it all, but I thought, what am I missing? So in looking at the LA to Vancouver, that doesn't apply because it's not round trip out of the US, as well as the Vancouver to Seattle. That doesn't apply. And then I don't know exactly which itinerary they are on for the round trip out of Alaska, but I looked through a whole bunch of the cruises, and it looks like everyone is stopping in Victoria, Canada, or Vancouver. There aren't any that are that are only going to Alaska ports right now. So I hope that gets worked out from her, and if we learn any like exclusions to these rules or anything else, I surely will let you know. But I did also want to let you know, in conjunction with that, hopefully it won't be a problem at all, but what she's got going on, and like I said, I'll let you know. But I wanted to let you know what the Princess website is saying right now about our cruises this summer. I let you know this in a COVID health protocol update, but if you missed that information, here it is in connection with that. It says for the 2022 Alaska Cruise Tour and Alaska and non-Alaska cruises starting or ending in Vancouver, Canada, we are working with the Canadian authorities to determine the specific guidance on testing for both cruise tours and cruising. We will advise guests once that information becomes available. And then along with that, they've got the reminder. It says guests who travel internationally should always ensure that they understand all entry and airline requirements to travel from their home country and the destinations they plan to visit, including where health authorities may require pre-travel COVID-19 testing. And so that is what is on the Princess website right now, and I surely will keep you updated when we hear more. But I wanted to let you know that, like today, which is January 28th, if you want to sail into if you want to fly into Canada right now, you just have to show proof of a negative PCR test. They are not accepting antigen tests. A negative PCR test done within 72 hours. And so that applies whether you're coming on an airplane or crossing the border in your car, or coming on a cruise ship or any other vessel into Canada. That is the requirement right now. And so that easily could change because right now we've got Omicron going on and everything. But that would be the requirement if you were going to go today, as well as the fact that you have to go onto their website, and it's called ArriveCan, just ARRIVE and then CAN, and you have to register there. And they say that if you don't do that, you could not be able to board your flight or not be able to cross the border when you're there in your car. And so clearly Princess is going to let us know what the requirements are for going on a cruise in and out of there. And but I just wanted to let you know that even the requirements right now are manageable. I find that very manageable. If I were going to fly to Canada, I would be booking a PCR test at a lab here as soon as I could so that I could get it that morning of the 72-hour window so that I could get the results back in time. They say that if you arrive without your results, you have to be tested and quarantined long enough to get your test results. And so I just wanted to let you know. And then to come back into the United States, they accept a PCR or an antigen test, and you just need to be tested within 24 hours of getting on your flight to come back into the United States. But interestingly enough, if you are coming back to the United States, like across the border in your car or on a cruise or other vessel, you don't have to be tested. And so that's part of like why when we come back from a cruise from anywhere, you don't have to be tested to come back into the United States. But I just wanted to let you know that that is what is required right now. The next thing I wanted to let you know about is we have a Let's Go family member, and she and her husband are going to go to Roatan. And so she was wondering how those flying chairs work with people who are a little bit larger. And thank you all. We have the most amazing Let's Go family here. I had 2 or 3 different people reply and let us know that number one lady, Lori, she said that they went there, and when they were there, they're a little bit larger. They're like 6 feet tall, around 300 pounds, and the flying chairs worked great. So don't worry about how much you weigh or if you're taller. It's okay. And another person let us know that the chairs are actually kind of big because they can hold up more than one person, like up to 4 people. And so you've got as much room as you need. And so I just wanted to let you you know that, and as well as anybody else that's wondering about that. I think that's very helpful to know. Another thing, we have our Let's Go family member who is trying to figure out if they should book their cruise to Antarctica on Princess or Celebrity. Well, we had a few people reply who have done both, and they all hands down recommend Princess for the food, for the onboard experience, and for the itinerary. And so Karen and any of you that have been trying to think about that or decide which cruise line, Princess is your cruise line for that. And that kind of goes with what I thought. I figured that would be our answer, but I always want to ask because everyone here has so much experience to share with all of us. And so thank you for your generosity with that. The last thing I wanted to let you know is I've had several questions on the fact that if you have COVID, they say that you can test positive for a couple of months afterwards. And what happens if you get a positive test while you're on the ship? So I actually called Princess for this. I tried the chat option and they weren't able to resolve it there, so I stayed on hold for quite a while. But the agent that I spoke with said if you are on the ship and you test positive, or you're at the port and you test positive, you can't get on the cruise. If you're at the port or if you're on the cruise, you're going to have to quarantine. And so I wanted to read, and I would think that down the road that they will allow more, but right now I think that's just where we are. And it looks like I was reading through other cruise lines information, and that seems to go along with what they're all thinking. I did do a lot of reading, and just because I was wanting to know more about this, and from what I've read, it sounds like if you've had COVID and you test negative, that you've got a really good shot of continuing to test negative once you test negative. And so I'm not a doctor. I don't work for the FDA or the CDC. I just wanted to let you know what I've read, but I also wanted to make you aware that if you were very recently ill and you've tested positive again, you might want to just let them know that you've tested positive and then not go on that cruise. That's what I would do if it was me. If I was getting ready to go and I tested positive, I wouldn't chance hoping to show up negative later. And so those are all of our updates for today. I really appreciate all of you. You are wonderful. And Thank you so very much for sticking with me. I'm really trying hard. If there is any content that you would like to see, or any suggestions you've got for me, or any questions that you would particularly like answered, I would love to hear from you in the comments or in an email, because we're trying really hard to give the information that you all are looking for, so that more people will want to join us, and so that we are a valuable resource to you. So I will, if you appreciate my updates also, will you please give this video a thumbs up? I will be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.